Good afternoon, 6-4 Owl parents. Mr. Hagedorn here with our math update. First thing I want to say is there's no school Monday. Please don't have your kids come Monday. And interims went home today. All four of us sent home an interim for our class with their grade as well as any missing work they may have. So please sign those and return them to us Tuesday. For math class, Math 6, we started ratios this week. We will continue with our ratios next week. We're basically just working on finding equivalent ratios right now. Thursday and Friday, students will be working on their practice problems and study guides. So those will be due the following week, not next week, but the week after. All right, Math 6 Plus, you guys have your Unit 2 mid-unit major on Tuesday. And then we will continue to work on our ratios stuff, finding equivalent ratios after that. All right, have a great weekend.
Hello, OWL families. I'm Mrs. Patterson with your ELA update for the week. Next week, we are going to work on a mini essay. It's our first full writing assignment of the year. We'll be working on connecting key elements of mythology to the myth of Prometheus, and that is going to be our first big writing assignment for the year. You should continue to see your child reading The Lightning Thief. They have reading assigned nightly, and they have reading checks every few days on the chapters that we have covered in class. But please ask them where they are, what's going on with Percy, how he is progressing through his hero's journey. Next week, we will have a reading check covering chapters 16 to 18. And next week, we will also have corrections for chapters 10 and 11 reading check and corrections for chapters 12 to 15 reading checks. That's all I have for you. I hope you guys have a great long weekend and get some rest.
All right, OWL families, Mr. O with a science update. This week we started states of matter, and we talked about solids, liquids, and gases, and some other unknowns like plasmas and colloids and such. We talked about what happened when heat is added and removed from matter. And because this is a big part of what we're going to do this year, we're going to extend that into next week. We're going to be getting into matter 2 stations. So we're going to take a little deeper dive into each of those things covered this week. So grades are current. Check out for those interims. And we're also going to be starting a Brain Pop pilot series with the kids next week. It's actually pretty cool stuff. So be on the lookout for kids talking about that, hopefully coming from science.
All right, and finally, social studies. Let's talk a little bit about what we've been doing and what we will be doing next week. We're in our unit on geography, so we've been identifying what are the different landforms and waterways that are generally across the planet. I have this landform lab, which is this kind of puzzle piece that goes together, and this is our station. So this is the coastline, and kids are using the numbers that are on here to identify different pieces of landform, like we've got a peninsula and an island and the strait and the different pieces of the coastline. And then there's 7 of them that go all the way around. And students are kind of rotating through that and identifying the different kinds of landforms and waterways that exist on our planet, so that we can then start to talk about what would be an advantage and disadvantages of settling there as we start to get into civilization and why people would choose or not choose to live around these different things. We constantly talk about food, water, shelter, food, water, shelter. What can the sea get for you? Food, water, and possibly some disadvantages as well. We'll continue that on Tuesday with some quizzes on Wednesday, and then carry on with some geography right to the end of our unit that finishes when we track out. So a couple more weeks. Now, that's kind of what's going on. Be on the lookout for your interims and have a lovely weekend. If you have any questions, please let us know. We'll see you back here next week.